Today students, let us learn the concept behind a reflector antenna. To learn the concept of reflector antenna, let us have an analysis of the term flower is a reflection of a gardener, a beautiful saying. Likewise, the term reflector could be easily understood. Now, we'll move on to the analysis of types of antenna. How the types of antenna is being dealt with. What are the various types of antennas? So, wire antenna, aperture antenna, reflector antennas, lens antenna, microstrip antenna, array antennas, etc. In which we are most confined to reflector antennas, parabolic reflectors, corner reflectors, and the main applications are microwave communication, satellite tracking, and radio astronomy. However, the aperture antenna has a group of this reflector antenna, lens antenna, microstrip antenna when compared with that of this wire antenna. So next analysis we will speak about the basics of reflector antenna. A parabolic reflector or a dish or a mirror is a reflective curved surface used to collect or project energy such as light, sound or radio waves. We know as the frequency increases, the wavelength decreases and becomes easier to construct an antenna system with larger wavelength. So we can say that the reflector antennas are high directional antennas, often referred to as dish antenna, which receives and radiates in one direction only with greatest gain, and they are also frequency independent. Now when we speak about the various factors which describe the dish antenna, they are the frequency, the aperture efficiency, the diameter, accuracy of dish surface, pattern of feed antenna. So mainly there are two types of elements used in a parabolic reflector antenna or any reflector antenna, which is active element and a passive element. The active element is a feed antenna and a passive element is a reflector. Now we'll see how a parabolic reflector works. We know a parabola means a set of points. All these are a set of points which is equidistant from a point called focus and is also equidistant from a point called vertex. So the symmetrical point on the parabola is what is called as a vertex, and the rays that emerge in a parallel formation are said to be the collimated rays. Now, what is the function of this parabolic reflector exactly? It transforms any incoming plane wave traveling along the axis of the spherical wave, converging it towards the focus. Or in other words, converse condition based on the reciprocity principle, a spherical wave generated by this point source placed in a focus can be reflected into a plane wave, propagating as a collimated beam along the axis. So we know that antenna is used for both transmission and reception purpose, used based on the reciprocity principle. That is what is shown here. Now we will see the types of the reflector antenna. Though there are various geometrical configurations, the most popular shapes which are defined below are plane reflector, corner reflector, parabolic reflector and the spherical reflector. First we will discuss about the plane reflector. It is the most simplest flat type reflector, and the basic idea behind the reflector antenna is that the metal surfaces can be used to direct the radiation from the antenna in desired direction if it is transmission purpose, but it is in vice versa condition for the reception purpose. However, though we have various principles in the antenna analysis, here we are using the image theory to study the radiation characteristics of the parabolic reflector antenna. In case of plane reflector or whatever may be the type, corner reflector, any reflector antenna, in case of plane reflector, the electromagnetic waves that are radiated from the feed are spherical wavefront. They are reflected from this plane surface, and the reflector also has spherical wavefront. So automatically it provides less directivity. Now let us consider the corner reflector. This consists of two plane reflectors. You can see in the diagram there are two plane reflectors which are joined together to form a corner. So the geometrical shape is beta collimate the energy in the forward direction. However, this feed antenna generates a spherical wavefront which are reflected from the corner. This is a corner and has a less curve when compared with that of the plane. So it provides better directivity when compared with that of the plane reflector. However, the feed element which you are making use is a dipole, or it is an array of collinear dipoles placed which is parallel to the vertex at a distance of say s meter away. Next comes the images of this reflector antenna. How could you define this image theory? A very clear example is given. The number of images are defined by the condition of pi in terms of theta with respect to -1. For example, choose 90-degree corner reflector antenna. 360 divided by 90 is 4 minus 1, 3. So these are the three images for the 90-degree corner reflector antenna. This is a feed, and the three images are defined like this. Likewise, for the phi image theory, we are choosing the angle subtended as 60 degree. If the angle subtended is 45 degrees, 7 images of the corner reflector antenna are defined, whereas in case of 30 degree subtended angle, 11 images are being drawn very clearly. So this gives the image theory of the reflector antenna. Now we'll go on to the design of this corner reflector antenna. The sides of the reflectors are made larger with respect to the included angles. How they are comparing the side in terms of the angle, that is what is this analysis speaking about. For each of the reflector, we have an optimum feed to vertex spacing. There are two conditions: if spacing is small, if there is large spacing. If spacing is small, it decreases the radiation resistance, however it leads to an inefficient antenna. Rather, if it is large spacing, it produces multiple lobes and loses its directional characteristics. So there should be a trade-off in designing this analysis. However, the field radiated by the source in presence of the corner reflected will be facilitated only with this angle of theta, which is pi by n. However, the number of images, polarity and the position is controlled by the included angle and the polarization of the feed element. As we have seen in the previous diagram, this is the feed element. So this plays a major role in the analysis for reflectors with infinite sides. Then the gain increases and the included angle decreases. So in most practical application cases, we prefer the included angle between the plates of the corner reflector to be 90 degrees because of two reasons. The construction is very simple, and also the radiation properties are the best in case of this. Next we'll move on to the third type, the very important analysis, which is a parabolic reflector. In case of parabolic reflector, we have the analysis of symmetrical point on the parabolic surface, which is called as vertex. The diagram depicts very clearly, and the radiation which converge at a spot is what is called as the focal point, and the rays which are emerging in parallel formation are said to be the collimated rays, and this figure depicts the improvement from corner reflector into a parabolic reflector. Now, what are the types of the parabolic reflectors? One is 2-dimensional, other one is 3-dimensional. First one is parabolic right cylinder, second one is paraboloid. Parabolic right cylinder is single curved, whereas paraboloid is double curved reflector. In case of parabolic right cylinder, the energy will be collimated. The antenna reflects energy. So the energy is collimated at a line which is parallel to the axis of the cylinder through the focal point only. So in case of paraboloid, how it is achieved is, it is by rotating this parabola 2-dimensional around its axis. Paraboloid is obtained, which is called as a feed pyramidal or conical horn. However, the ratio of f by d, which is focal length to the diameter of the aperture, is an important constraint design in this analysis. However, in case of paraboloid, a pyramidal horn is situated at the focal point f such that non-capture rays form the spillover. So this gets analysis of the parabolic reflector. How to design a parabolic reflector? In this diagram, this is a parabola. So in the parabola, we have drawn a perpendicular representation. So this is a surface geometry method. It is a 2-dimensional configuration. Now I am choosing this axis. This is marked as O, and this P and this Q. Let me choose this triangle. So OP is marked to be R dash, and PQ is marked to be equal to R dash cos theta, because this and these are parallel lines. So adding this both, I can take out R dash 1 plus cos theta dash. But in the diagram, this is one F and this is another F. Because the whole of this length is chosen to be equal to F, I am writing this value plus this value to be equal to approximately a constant which is equal to 2F. That's what in the first line itself we have written. OP plus PQ is equal to, say, some constant which is equal to twice the value of F. So 2F divided by 1 plus cos theta dash becomes equal to R dash. and the angles cos alpha, cos beta can be defined in the diagram using cos theta dash divided by 2. So this gets analysis of basic design. However, the design should have the directivity and the gain. So power gain of an aperture, circular aperture paraboloid is defined generally in the previous unit itself. We have learnt all this. First unit itself we have learnt all these analysis. So GP is equal to 4 pi A naught divided by lambda square. However, the capture area we know A naught is equal to K into A. This is what we say K is equal to a constant which is dependent on the feed, which is 0.65 for dipole. It is a defined value. So I can write GP to be equal to 4 pi into, I am replacing this A naught by Ka, okay, divided by lambda square. K is already known 0.65, so the equation takes up this form. But the actual area of the circular aperture, if it is a circular aperture, A is to be replaced by pi d square divided by 4. So I am again replacing this A value by pi d square divided by 4, and the final expression takes up the form of GP equal to 6d divided by lambda the whole square. So this is a power gain what we have achieved. Now let us assume that the feed antenna becomes isotropic. It is a very important condition. We know that the isotropic antenna is the reference antenna. So sometimes we assume that the feed antenna is isotropic. So the paraboloid produces a beam of radiation with either a rectangular aperture or a circular aperture. If it is rectangular aperture, the bandwidth between the first nulls is equal to 115 lambda by L degrees, where L is the length of the rectangular aperture. Rather it is, if it is circular aperture, 140 lambda divided by D degrees, where D is the diameter of the aperture. So for circular aperture, the half power beamwidth is defined by 58 lambda by D. We are not going into the derivation of all these parts. We are just learning this, where capital D defines the directivity. We know the formula for directivity in terms of aperture. Effective aperture is 4 pi AE divided by lambda square, but effective aperture AE is equal to pi d square divided by 4. So upon substitution, the directivity of the parabolic reflector, very important condition, is 9.87 d by lambda the whole square. So three set of conditions we should be clear with. GP is equal to 6 into d by lambda the whole square as first condition, and then the condition for the analysis of bandwidth between the first nulls in case of rectangular and circular apertures, and then the directivity which is equal to 9.87 d by lambda the whole square. What are the feed techniques? We know that the feed techniques are of 4 types from the diagram: axial or front feed, offset feed, Cassegrain feed, offset Cassegrain feed. In axial or front feed, we have marked very clearly whether it is of less cross polarization, no blockage due to feed. Here isolation, in the diagram we can see very clearly the feed antenna, on either side it is symmetric. Here it is not symmetric, only one side it is chosen. That's what has been mentioned here. Because of the symmetricity there is a blockage. Here there is no blockage, only one side it is going, antenna feed element, but there is no it is not symmetric with respect to the center. That becomes a disadvantage. Likewise, blockage due to secondary reflector becomes a disadvantage here, but isolation of feed leads to the low noise application. Also, this Cassegrain feed is an important feed because it provides very high directivity. Again, here there is an isolation to feed antenna, but there is no blockage due to the secondary reflector also, but introduces a cross reflector. That is why we do not prefer the offset Cassegrain or the Gregorian method in general. And the K range, as we have spoken, it is a constant dependent on the feed antenna, that is 55%. This is used in satellite and home TV in general. Offset generally preferred, and there is 65 to 70% and greater than 70%. So next we speak about the spherical reflectors, the last type of the reflector. So figure 1 very clearly shows parabolic mirrors and spherical mirrors. In case of parabolic mirrors, the parallel beams collimated rays are very clear, where compared with that of the spherical mirror, where a diagram of the spherical analysis is very clearly shown, and the point F is here called as a paraxial focus, which is equal to 1/2 of the radius of the sphere. If this is going to be the complete radius of the sphere, then 1/2 of the radius of the sphere defines the focus F. It is a paraxial focus. And also the caustic envelope, the caustic surface, is nothing but an epicycloid which is formed by the parallel reflection of the rays. So this gets analysis of spherical reflector. We are not going into detail of this. The various applications of reflector antennas are a general analysis, satellite dishes, reflecting telescopes, radio telescopes, parabolic microphones, lighting devices, spotlights, car headlights, Harkans and your LED housings. And this application speaks a very clear analysis of how it is a high gain dish antenna for deep space analysis by NASA. These two photography with analysis all over the world. 3 analysis at 120 degree, 360 degree. So at each 120 degree they are separated by. So 3 deep space communication facilities placed approximately is very clearly shown in this diagram, and the photography is referred with respect to the NASA analysis, and this gets a complete concept of the analysis of applications of a reflector antenna. Thank you very much for the analysis of the reflector antenna to be followed up with analysis of various aperture antennas.